Welcome to the podcast. We're gonna call it Musical Men for now. It's a work in progress. But today we are gonna talk about some different theater things, just like very broad terms for our first episode, maybe more to come. So real quick, we're just gonna go down the line and we're gonna say our names.
Hey, I'm Kyler.
I'm Leo.
I'm Nick.
I'm Jacob.
And I'm Logan.
Alright, Leo is our topics guy. You should pick one first.
So the first one is cast bonding gone wrong or right.
So, and that includes weird games, some rituals we have, or traditions we've seen in different shows.
I got one.
Yes.
So, in CYT, we usually perform at this place called the Bing Crosby Theater. It's downtown. There's this big wall that usually, like before a show, people would go there. And if they had lipstick on or some type of like lip makeup, they go and kiss the wall, right? So after years and years of that, the entire wall was plastered in hundreds of thousands of kiss marks. And eventually the theater got really mad at us. And we weren't allowed to do that anymore.
Yeah, I remember that.
Ooh, I have one.
Yeah.
So there's an interesting thing where every opening night of a show, all of the boys gather together in the boys' bathroom of the boys' dressing room, and we all sing Wellerman.
Yep.
In complete darkness.
Yeah, we cannot pound on the walls anymore, though.
We used to, but then the girls got mad at us.
Yeah.
And one of our supervisors had to come down from upstairs from
The house.
The house, which is you know
The auditorium.
Yeah.
saying they could hear pounding because there was like 20 boys banging on a wall as hard as they could.
Mm-hmm. That was really interesting.
Yeah, one time a girl actually got so mad she walked in there as we were singing banging on it, and like just opened it.
Yeah, and then there's a lot of good ones too that we do just as a group, like the robe.
We have the legacy robe.
The legacy
Explain what that
robe.
is, Nick.
So, the legacy robe is something that's like passed down from cast member to cast member across shows. So like one person would nominate another person for the robe, and then number one, after they nominated the person, they would also add like a trinket that represented that show to the robe, and then they'd continue passing it down. I got it last show that I was in. That's just a random flex. I don't know why I had to say that, but yeah. It's pretty fun. Power Squeeze is also a fun one.
You still have it? Or did you give it
Yeah,
to me?
it's downstairs. Power Squeeze is fun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is there anything else?
I don't know. The one I'm thinking of isn't really a tradition, but just something gone
man
wrong. I wasn't here for it. I think it was like,
is
was
it?
it Frozen or something?
Was it during Tech Week?
No, the glitter. I don't think I was here. Here for it. It was before I joined their CYT, their theater. But one of the shows had a bunch of glitter. It got everywhere. Still find it downstairs in the Bing Crosby Theater sometime, and we're not allowed to use a bunch of glitter anymore.
That
Oh
makes
yeah,
sense.
I remember that.
Oh, so one time.
Alright. This next one is Unpopular Opinions, Theater Edition.
I don't really like Hamilton.
Agreed.
Same.
Oh my God.
Same.
Hamilton is a
I'm the
musical.
only one here who apparently
If you're not into theater or musicals.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
like Hamilton if you don't like musicals.
The second you do a show, you kind of realize how like poorly it's not poorly written.
The production value is really high. It's just
It's just not
it's made as a novelty show where like it wasn't I
Yeah.
feel like made out of passion. It's making some like, oh, it'd be really funny if we did a historical show but they all rapped.
Yeah,
It wasn't made out of
yeah,
this is a
it's-
really cool inspiring story and I can do something.
It's a good
Yeah.
like idea, but it was executed poorly.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people who like it, and I don't.
Especially-
hold
yeah,
that-
if you like it, no.
I don't hold that against them.
I don't like it when there's like everybody who says, "Man, I'm a real theater kid. You know, I love all theater." And then you ask them what their favorite musical is, and they say Hamilton.
And then you instantly know.
If
that
you've been doing
it's-
theater for a couple of years,
You
and you still like Hamilton, I question you.
yeah. I mean, Hamilton
I
is
don't think it would
good.
make you not like it. It just definitely give you other options to have.
Yeah, there's
I have one.
Yeah.
My unpopular opinion is getting like a lead role is not like what you should strive for.
Oh,
at least,
yeah.
at
It's
least
not an
in the
unpopular
theater,
opinion,
at
in my
least in
opinion.
the theater that we do.
Yeah, and
it's so fun to get an ensemble role.
Yeah.
I've had more
Well-
fun doing my ensemble roles than I have with my lead.
Not all ensemble roles,
No.
That is
Yeah,
true.
not at all.
Yeah.
Okay,
but
and
most of them.
another thing is, unless you're like in love with the villain of a show, if the show like has like a defined villain, and especially if it's like a musical, being the villain sucks. Unless you're doing the show to be the villain,
Yeah.
because the villain, you can't. You're the big
Compelling force.
Yeah, it's like, so you can't be seen anywhere else besides being a villain. So it takes the people out of the merging, so you're only ever cast as a villain and nothing else.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
literally show up, you might have like a cool song, but then you're just not in the rest. You're only in your scenes. You don't get to do like the big cool dance numbers, or like the ones that a lot of people come to the show to do.
Yeah.
There is a lot of fun villains though.
I like lead roles, but literally, if I get an ensemble, I will enjoy the show no matter what.
Exactly.
Like, I just do it because of my friends I have there in the community. I don't do it just for, like, being a lead role. I love being lead roles. Don't get me wrong. It's super fun, and it's a good experience to learn. But, like, that's just, like, a constellation prize for getting into the actual show.
Yeah. Lead roles, ton of work and stress because you have, I mean, usually like a lot more to do because you are the lead, and with an ensemble role, even though you still might not be in a lot, if you mess up like a dance move here or there, people might not notice, and if they do, no biggie. But if you're like the lead and you mess up, that can turn like the same mistake that you can make as a lead role and ensemble role. If you're a lead, that mistake will have greater effect on the overall experience of the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just overall, you're held to a higher standard.
Yeah.
Okay, I have one. Well, I don't know if it's necessarily an unpopular opinion, but if you want lead roles and that's what you want out of theater, go somewhere other than CYT.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
CYT is definitely a place you go for the community.
Yeah.
Like,
Because
you go to be friends with everyone else there.
there's so many people and all of them are so nice.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, because there's so many people and there's so much talent, if you really want to get a lead role, it's
It's a
not that
competition.
easy.
Difficult.
Yeah, you really have to work.
Yeah. Especially with community theater. And this kind of applies to all theaters, but theater in general, this whole space cannot exist without some type of bias, okay?
Yeah.
And I don't mean in like, oh, I really like this person type of way. Which, that is a big thing, because no one can be fully unbiased. I mean in like, if you've been there for a long time, and you've never like missed rehearsal without putting on your conflict sheet. You've never been cut up backstage. You're always nice. Do what you do. Do what you're told. Even if you audition and maybe for a lead, say you audition for a lead, and you might mess up a little bit and might not have like the best audition, but then someone else comes in that's like new or like has maybe been like bossy or mean to people like backstage, and they have the most flawless audition with this character. Chances are the person that messed up but's been there a long time is gonna get cast as that lead if they were only deciding between those two people, because it's not in theater. It's not just about your talent; it's about just who you are as a person. So a lot of times when people are like, "Oh, I'll audition for the show," but if I don't get what I want, I'll just drop it. If you keep that up, you're never gonna get cast as the lead.
It's like something that some people say in theater is every moment is an audition.
Yeah.
And it's really true, because if you're messing around all the time and just like not paying attention, then you're less likely to get cast.
Yeah. I feel like putting something or nothing is also like just a chance killer, unless you have like a really good definitive reason.
And unless you're in like a professional show.
But like, what you should never just put something or nothing just because you think that you're that good, because that's just respectfully cocky.
You might want to.
And so essentially putting something or nothing on your audition sheet means you only want a certain role or nothing. So like for like Shrek or something, I could say I want Shrek or nothing, and then if I don't get Shrek, I'm just not in the show, and I'll only accept Shrek as a role.
I feel like it's only good to do that when you're only willing to put in the time for the show, like you don't have the time to put in the show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like,
If you have a job.
yeah,
or-
and it's really a deal breaker if you're not getting what you want out of that show. Like,
It's
that should be the only reason to put that,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
And to even make it even worse, if say you're auditioning for 2 shows, and you put not even just something or nothing, if you're auditioning for 2 shows, and then both cast is coming out, and you're like, well, I got a bit better role in this one, I'm just gonna drop the other show. You're just a jerk, man. Like,
Yeah,
genuinely.
I was
You should
about
never
to
drop
say,
a
I
show.
hate when people do that.
I hate when people
Yeah.
drop a show just because, like, you
Yeah.
literally, you got in the show over other people, and you just tore those chances away from them by dropping out.
yeah, you
Yeah.
took someone else's spot that could have been.
Like, normally at CYT, they replace their spots when they drop a show.
Yeah, like-
But, like Logan.
Yeah,
Logan, someone got his role. He didn't even audition, but they dropped. So because Logan had been there for a while, and they trust Logan that he can do a good job, they asked him to be in the show.
Yeah, but, like, if you just quit, like, there's no good reason to ever audition for 2 shows at once, because then that just causes trust issues between both.
Unless you put something or nothing.
Yeah.
Unless you're doing both shows, like I usually do.
Yeah, if you
You
can,
can,
do
if
both
you can
shows,
do
then-
both shows, go right ahead. But, like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've done, like, 3 shows at one time once.
I've been in technically 4 shows at one time, but they weren't really.
One of them you're recurring though.
Yeah.
So not as much.
All right.
So next
Next
topic. If non-musicals were musicals, what would it be and why?
Oh.
So this is one where we're gonna go down the line
Yeah.
and say what and why.
Sorry,
Well,
Nick?
can you expand on that? I don't think I'm understanding.
Like,
Okay, so
like-
like if something that is not actively a musical was a musical, what would it be and why? So like a movie or something.
I
like a book.
I have been standing on technically 2 hills. I have 2 ideas, but I'll only say one right now.
Just go through both of them.
Both of them? Okay. First one. I want a Holes musical, like the Disney Holes. That would be so good. And then second one, I don't know why, I just think it's funny name. I think Uptown Funk.
Yes, that works
Musical.
perfectly.
Honestly,
There's like it's all funk music.
if they could find a good story for that.
Do you guys know this is a Queen musical?
Yeah, there is. It's called yeah.
It's called Lou or Rocky. Anyway, back to the.
Oh.
But yeah, I feel like Holes the musical. I have dreams about it. And then I don't know, Uptown Funk. If they had a cool story, I would totally go see that performed live. That'd be so cool.
Alright.
And go Leo.
Yeah, it's my turn. Well, honestly, I might be a bit of a nerd for saying this, but a Pokemon musical would be kind of sick.
I agree.
Like with puppets. Guys.
Imagine you get cast as Pikachu and all you say is Pikachu.
Yeah, exactly.
Pika Pika.
Pika Pika. Wait, that looks.
Well, you gotta control its little arms.
Yeah.
So I know Leo's talking about obviously like proper puppets, like professional puppets. But
Yeah.
in my mind, I'm
Like
imagining
Muppets.
sock puppets.
That's what I was
Pika.
imagining.
It would be like actual professional
How would you make them
puppets.
come out of the balls? Like,
You wouldn't. They would just stay out the whole time.
Of the Pokeballs, but like, wouldn't they need that for context to the actual show? and
yeah,
the
because like,
musical?
I don't know, some 80-year-old dude's like, Pokemon, new
probably
musical.
use
It's like a
practical
Broadway
effects.
enthusiast. I'm like, what the heck is that?
Practical effects for a musical, like on
Yeah,
stage?
isn't that what that?
Yeah, that's what the.
I
They don't,
I was thinking of VFX.
I was like, how are
Well, they could. Well, because it would probably be the story of like one person going along their Pokemon journey.
Okay.
So yeah,
My-
I think it'd be pretty interesting.
Indeed.
How about you, Nick?
Alright, I have a pretty obscure one, I feel. More obscure than Uptown Funk, I believe. So, you may be familiar... I have 2 as well. You may be familiar with the artist, The Plain White Tees.
Mm.
They've written... they're Delilah creators. They've written a various amount of songs that are all so good. And the other day when I was like listening to one of their playlists in the car, I was just like, You know, legit, you could just tie these all together and make the most killer jukebox musical ever. For context, to those who do not know what a jukebox musical is, it's when all the music in the show is written by one person.
And they're already like
Like
existing.
they're pre-famous.
Like ABBA's Mamma Mia.
Yeah.
Yes. Like their music was
Or
written
Queen
before
Boo
the
Rock.
show was made. If
Like
that makes sense.
Footloose.
Yeah,
Footloose and Mamma Mia are also
And
jukebox
We Will Rock
songs.
You.
Yeah.
I feel
And
like-
and Michael Jackson.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But
Well, not
which
all
is
of Michael
which is
Jackson.
good.
There's some original songs in it too.
Oh yeah, there are
Yeah,
like
yeah. There's
one-
like two. But
you-
anywho, I think that would be sick. And then another one would easily be Jack Johnson. Specifically the In Between Dreams album. So like Banana Pancakes, sorry the dog was doing something weird. Banana Pancakes, Upside Down isn't in that one, but they should throw that in there anyways. Sittin', Waitin', Wishin', the 3 R's, there is so much you could do with that, and a lot of them tell stories as well. Yeah, that's what I think
Yeah.
would
With
be
that,
sick.
Nick, with like the artists, I feel like AJR. They already made
AJR.
Hear me out.
That could work.
Connor gave me this idea. Connor's one of our friends who's a theater with us. He made me listen to the album. And it already kind of sounded like apparently they make them kind of in stories already,
That makes
or
sense.
like they make like a tangible storyline. Like put that on.
I mean,
stage.
like Netflix show would totally work.
Oh yeah,
It's called Netflix show, right?
it's called like Netflix Trip or something.
Oh yeah, Netflix trip.
Anyway.
But yeah, songs like that, like all their a lot of their songs tell stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that might work. Yeah.
I just feel like we don't have enough jukebox musicals in this world.
Yeah, I can agree.
Well, I feel
Because,
like
but also some people who just like love the jukebox musicals
Yeah.
because they're like it takes the creativity out of it.
the more the longer time goes on, the more jukebox musicals there are.
Yeah.
And like recently, there's been a lot of new jukebox musicals, like and Juliet, and
Juliet. I've heard of that one. I haven't seen it.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
and just
As long as it's as long as it's the jukebox musical isn't like all music, which is a sing-through musical, where they literally just perform the song live, which is cool. But like, I'm kind of also here for the story.
Kinda
Yeah,
like Six.
yeah.
All right.
6 is just kind of like one big concert. It's cool though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, don't eat that. No.
Jacob,
no,
what about
that
you?
is chocolate.
I hadn't like previously thought about this, but after Kyler just said a song, I hadn't like pre-thought of it, but I immediately thought of the song "Southern Nights" by Glenn Campbell. I love that song, and I can't think of all the words off the top of my head, but it does definitely tell like a story about the Southern Nights. Obviously, I like it a lot. I don't really have much to expand on that, but
It'd be cool.
I do.
It would be mellow.
It would be mellow. It would have a nice, like, soft, kind of quiet, I guess is the word you would use, story.
I like it.
Indeed.
I don't know what. Like, I guess my immediate thought were like plays that would be turned into musicals. And I was just thinking of a play I heard of, but it already kind of has a musical version of it. We were watching stuff for 9/11, and there were obviously there are multiple musicals and plays based off
Yeah,
of
they
that.
come from away. Yeah.
And we saw one of the plays. I was like, that'd make a great musical, but there are kind of already
Yeah.
musicals based off of that. So
I mean, you could always write more.
yeah.
Yeah. There's like a million different perspectives you could use
Yeah.
on that day.
I mean, Come From Away uses a completely different perspective than.
What our
There's like a.
whatever it is.
I don't know what musical it is, but there's a song in it called "I'll Be Here." That song's very sad, but I can't remember what the musical is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next question.
Next topic.
Alright.
By the way,
So next topic is props that could kill you, or like
Oh,
more
Any
like
of-
just like
any of our
dangerous
weapon
props that we've dealt with. Some things that maybe we got really hurt by using. Or we could also
Pitchforks.
probably include the set as well.
Yeah, so I haven't
Stairs.
ever gotten like uber duper hurt by a prop. But let's just say there's been multiple instances relating to sets where I have been damaged. So the first instance comes from when we did Joseph and the Technicolor Dreamcoat.
Amazing.
Yeah, the amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. So essentially, our stage was built like the set was literally just two pyramid-shaped things in the back, but there were staircases on wheels. So for some of the scenes, we rotated them, so they came from like being like this to like this, facing the steps facing forward towards the audience. And me and a couple other of the guys in that show, including Leo, and Jacob,
Yeah, I did move that.
were a part of moving it. And the way it worked is the wheels were all like they had brakes attached to them for making it easier to move. And my brake would not go up. So I put my hand under there, and I was really just trying to force it up, and it finally went, and it rocketed my elbow straight into the wood of it, and I almost just hit Leo too. Straight into the wood. Hurt so very bad that I had to make a makeshift cast off stage from like one of the directors who's like medically trained. And my elbow hurt for 4 months after that, and I made a poor decision of not telling my parents because I was scared they'd get mad at me. And I know I'm like blabbering right now, but the second instance is from a show called Seussical. Dr. Seuss the musical, essentially. And the set was built very like similar to the Joseph set, except
Same set piece, actually.
yeah, it was. Except
Just with more on it.
yeah, except it was like a little pokier at spots because they like made it look all cartoonish. But I was a Wickersham brother in that show, and one of the gimmicks of my character was that we did a lot of like stunty like things. So to start the number where we come on, me and two other like castmates grabbed my hands, and I was in the middle. So like if Jacob and Leo were facing towards me, they'd be grabbing my hands, and I was flinging off of them. Now the actor for the Cat in the Hat had gotten different blocking than we did. So rather than coming from the house and around through the back, he was coming off stage where I was being thrown on. So I'm in the middle of the air, and I notice he's walking, and I hit him and bounce into the set and land my ankle and roll it, and most definitely sprained it. But that was a part of Tech Week, so I wrecked it pretty bad, and I had to make another makeshift cast. And I also didn't tell my parents that time either.
Brother.
I got a host of things. I'll keep it short though. So, I think the first major one was I was in a show called Cinderella. I don't know. There's one day I was just not on top of it. So I didn't have shoes on, and I was late, or I was about to be late. So I was like running. We had these huge like half of the spiral staircase off on the side stages, and just the side of the stage I was on didn't have much space because they were huge. I was running. I slammed my toe into it, and I broke it right there. And I went on stage with the broken toe, where we had to stand on and hop on one foot for one part. In that same show, prop that could have seriously hurt us. I was a knight, but then there was the prince, and all the knights had like these mostly like wooden or like
They
plastic
were
swords.
plastic and hollow.
But the main
Those are
prince
good
just had like a metal sword. It wasn't.
I remember that.
It wasn't
Oh,
sharp,
yeah.
but like that. If you got hit with that, that would hurt you. And then not at CYT. I happened to find at U High. I was going through the prop room because we were just helping. We were doing an auction thing, so I was looking for something that was on the list to auction off. And I find this like huge, like actually just like metal sword
Moose girl, hush.
that was like actually sharp.
Kyler, restart that. The dog better. Start it like huge or something.
I found this huge like metal sword that was like actually sharp, so it was just like a real sword. And I opened it, not expecting it to be a real sword. I touched it, I'm like, oh, that's actually sharp. So I cut myself a little bit. And then I put the sheath back on, and I was going to turn it around to like put it back. I hit my friend in the head really hard.
With the sword? Or sheathed? Or
It was the sheath was on.
Okay.
Luckily, because if it wasn't, lop his head off. Yeah, so yeah, those are the ones I can think of like the top of my head.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have one, maybe two. In the same show, Nick got slammed into the set. That same set, I was running out.
Or
Wait, yeah,
Seussical.
Joseph Seuss.
I guess I should have said that. But I was running out, as one does, and like Nick said, they had it all pokey and cartoonish, and I hit one of those little sticking out sections so hard with my left shin that I broke it off, and now have a permanent scar on my shin from it.
He does. I remember that. That was
Yeah, that was
I was
nasty.
bleeding everywhere.
Logan, you got anything?
Right there,
Or Leo?
I think.
Oh, yeah, I see it.
If you guys are thinking, I got one more thing. So give me more time.
I once got shoved by Kyler by accident during Tarzan into the. Oh, you know, also during Tarzan.
No.
The amount of times that I hit my head on the boards and the bars of the
Those things.
what's it called?
Scaffolding.
Yeah, scaffolding. The amount of times I hit my head while I was going underneath them.
Ugh.
Yeah. So
It wasn't that bad, but it was inconvenient.
For reference, in Tarzan, part of the set, it's like a jungly show, as you probably know. But we had 2 sets of scaffolding and just like fake paper vines lining them. I think it was cool, but I also think it was really risky move and really dangerous move.
It looked really cool.
Yeah,
It did.
but
It was cool, but it was almost counterbalanced by how like dangerous it
it was like
It was
almost
scary.
it was almost murderous, I'd say.
As someone
Yeah.
that went to the complete top before that show actually started, when we were moving into theater, I was helping like set them up, like get all the vines on them and stuff. So like they were out sitting in the audience seats, and they were getting like notes, and I was just on stage. And they have locks, kind of like most one sets have locks, and lock it in place. And even when it was locked, just being up there, that was scary. And I almost hit, because the platforms aren't like attached to it. You can just like lift them up, and there's like gravity holding them there, and it sways if you move. So it was really scary.
Didn't the guy playing Tarzan, didn't he get like spun around while being on the top?
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
I was
He
scared
had to
for his
stand
life.
on the very top, which is like what, at least 12 feet in the air,
While singing.
probably more.
Yeah.
12 feet in the air while singing, not holding on.
Only like one hand on at most, and if not, he didn't have hands on.
And he just stood there, and they just spun him really fast as he was going, no.
I was scared for him.
That was, yeah.
Another really high set. I was in a production of Newsies at SC2, which is different from CYT. We had this piece of like, I don't know, just a tall structure. And I actually just jumped off the top of it every night, which tech tall sets. I was in a production of Newsies at a different theater. And there's a part where I had to get to one side of the stage. I had to get to the other side of the stage, and it was like a final pose. And the stairs going up, they weren't sketchy. It's just they were weird because the stairs were made to not look like stairs. They're like a bunch of boxes and crates and stuff. So it's hard to get down them quickly. So I was just jumping off of it every night. It was maybe like 6 or 8 feet high. And I had to bend really far to absorb that. But a fun part of that, not so fun part, was a lot of times during rehearsal, during the run of that show, I think I went through like 8 pairs of pants. So every once in a while, I'd bend down to put this jacket and just on stage, and I'd just like make my way off stage, covering my butt. So yeah, anyone else wants to go? Now that I've shared this
We'll leave that in.
embarrassing story.
Well, I mean, I've never really been hurt too badly during a show, but I mean, some props you could say malfunctioned meaning, so it was in Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, and I had to be lifted up to be used as a human limbo bar.
I wonder who was lifting me.
I
Yeah.
did that.
Jacob was one of the people lifting me, and see, as I got lifted up, and then I got put down, my pants ripped. And so I just had to spend the rest of the song and then the scene after that just with my legs right real close to each other so that no one could see that they were ripped. And yeah, that was fun because then I had to get them fixed and it was neat.
Yeah.
Didn't you dislocate your knee, Jacob? Lifting.
That wasn't like due to a proper ascent though.
I know, but didn't it affect Tarzan because you lifted Nick?
Yeah, I did lift Nick up and down in Tarzan the musical, but on the biggest rehearsal before we move into the theater, I dislocated my left knee while dancing.
That was
It
bad.
very much affected the rest of the show for me.
It's really interesting because you were able to do it for some of the runs, no? And then it got to a point where you
Yeah,
just weren't
it-
able to.
We did it like the first one or two, right?
Yeah, we did like the first one or two, and then the second weekend I couldn't do it anymore.
So then he like grabbed me by the waist and hoisted me up while I was pretending to be a gorilla.
Because
Yeah.
originally, didn't you just pretend to be a gorilla?
Yeah.
So he was like mocking Tarzan, going, gorilla! And eventually, he couldn't do it anymore, so he just lifted Nick.
Yeah.
Another one that like kind of revolves but isn't really about a prop, it's just like kind of something that happened is during Cinderella, at the start, the knights, they came out through the alcoves. The wings, not the alcoves. But we would run out and we would run up the stairs onto the stage. And I ran out and there was this like really sweet looking old lady just like sitting on her chair. And she had her purse like laying right at the side. And I was running, I was ready to get to my scene and act like an absolute legend I am. But I caught my ankle on it and I absolutely just fell and kneed the life out of one of the Bing seats to the point where it was audible probably throughout the house would be my best guess. And I could not walk the rest of the thing, but I kept moving.
Another prop.
Not really, but I kept moving.
Another thing happened with prop in the same show. There's a part where we also played pages, and we did, like, if you know Wii bowling, where if you roll the ball backwards, they all jump and spin. We kind of did like a gag with that, where these fairies would come out and we'd get in pin formation, and they'd roll this huge pumpkin at us during like a chase scene, and we'd jump, spin, someone pick up the pumpkin, and they would run off. During this show one night, they completely missed us, and it went off the front of the stage. So,
That's it.
no, yeah, Nick.
I mean, that's a dangerous prop.
It didn't hit anybody.
It didn't hit
but-
anyone because the front rows usually kind of not have anyone in it. But Nick, I think someone jumped off the front of the stage to go grab it.
It was not me. I can tell you that
I
much.
think it was one of our other friends. To grab it. He was gonna go, but I was like, hand it to me, and we just stood there arguing because we were both in like 5th grade and petty, and we both wanted to hold the pumpkin when usually not allowed to hold. So we just kind of stood there for a couple seconds, like arguing with our eyeballs.
Arguing with our eyeballs.
And then he gave it to me, and instead of running off the stage, because the stage was closer, I ran off through the alcove, so I had to run through the audience first, because I was petty.
Alright. Anything else to add on?
No?
Okay, so
Alright, for our next topic, we are picking. This one is saved for last, just because of how juicy and crazy and diabolical it's gonna get.
I love that word.
Diabolical is one of my favorite words.
I love diabolical.
Alright, for our last topic, we are gonna be talking about the most diabolical, the most insane, the most juicy stories, and that is Tech Week horror stories. And for those who do not know, Tech Week is like the middle phase between being in the studios and the actual excuse me, the actual performances. So essentially we're in the studios for 10 weeks. And then we go to Tech Week, which is just a week straight worth of like 5 hours or more of rehearsal.
It's usually 8.
Yeah, 8 or so. It's a crazy amount. That's all I know. And then it goes into the show. So it's like the last thing to really hammer in all the details. So we're going to go into some depth about various stories that are just horrifying. Like, not like legitimately horrifying, but like figuratively horrifying in the theater realm.
I don't know. I've never had a bad. Oh wait,
You've had some bad ones.
I have
Yeah.
one.
I haven't.
you can tell you.
So
Both of my injuries.
basically,
Yeah.
there's this musical called SpongeBob the Musical.
We don't talk about SpongeBob.
It's not that bad, guys.
Not all of us were in it, but I think most of us were.
Yeah, I didn't audition.
I think it was just us three who were in it.
Cool.
It was a good show, but the process of the show was really weird.
Bad.
Yeah.
It was really bad.
And then when it came to Tech Week, we still hadn't done a full run through. So then second day of Tech Week, hadn't done a full run through. Third day of Tech Week, we were still learning new stuff.
That was funny.
And then our first full run through of the show was opening night. So we had no practice of doing it all the way through the show.
And we did that run through, and once we got to the end, we realized we hadn't learned bows yet. So then, with half an hour, okay, but mind you, none of us were ready because we were doing this run through. Actually, no, I think we were in costume and makeup or anything. But we had not learned bows. And it was
No.
30 minutes before people start coming into the audience. So we had to just bang bows out.
Yeah.
It was not fun.
I didn't mind SpongeBob. I know that's a little off topic, but I'm just gonna put it out there. I didn't mind SpongeBob. But
It was a fun show. It was
back
my
to-
little brother's favorite.
back to Tech Week horror stories.
I have a couple.
Alright.
So the hospital knows me by sight now. They know my name. I'm gonna put that out there. So let's see. The most recent one was Tarzan. The night before opening night. So when we're not on stage, we're usually in like the basement of the band connected to the stage. And I was sitting down. They have low ceilings and like some pipes. And I go to get help up, and I do like a little jump at the end. I don't know, feeling crazy. And I just slam my head up on a big red pipe, like really hard.
Oh yeah.
And then I go, I'm feeling sleepy, guys. And I took like a 15-minute nap, woke up extremely thirsty, and then like I just couldn't speak. I just couldn't speak without going.
Oh yeah, I remember you had
I
a really
remember
bad
that.
stutter.
Like,
I
I just couldn't
You
speak.
I thought
you
you
were
were-
probably concussed.
I
Yeah,
thought
and
you
I
were
had to
just
go to the
rage baiting me.
hospital.
Yeah.
Like,
when
sounded
you're
like you were
concussed-
just like being really rage baity.
Yeah, when you're concussed, the thing you want the least is sleep, because that's like that messes with your brain more.
Yeah.
That's actually a misconception, by the way. Sleep's
Anyways,
like one of the best things.
anyways.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I was at the hospital till like I think 5 in the morning. No, it was even later. It was like I didn't get home till like 6 a.m. And then what time did we have to be at the theater? Like
Was that a Saturday? Or was
it was opening night. It was Friday.
like probably around
7. Wait, no, we would have to be at the theater at like 4 or 5. 4.
So I got home at 6 a.m. We had to be there at 4 p.m. So that's like my first one. I ended up pretty much okay. Still the stutter a little bit. But like, we don't know the permanent damage. It's probably made me a nuisance. Anyway.
I agree.
Yeah, I was waiting
Wow.
for someone to say that. I knew you guys were gonna say it anyway. Might as well give you a chance. Second one, Joseph and the Making Technicolor Dreamcoat. Now, because my poopy math teacher was on vacation, all my math grade dropped to an F because he wouldn't update my work. Now, I can't audition if I'm failing a class, right? So, I ended up being on crew for that show. When you sign up for crew, you give like your top 3, and then they'll choose from there. My third one was, so I think I had like backstage spots, which is they hold the big spotlights. Then hair and makeup, just because I knew the people on it. Not expecting to get hair and makeup at all, I got put on hair and makeup. not really relevant to the story. But one day, I forget what caused it. I think it was stress. I came home from school. I was like, Dad, can you pick me up? I feel weird. I just like threw up and like got like passed out in my hallway. And then I like woke up, but I wasn't responding. But like I was walking, but I wasn't talking back to them or anything. And I don't remember this at all. Went to urgent care anyway. Went to the hospital. I went in the ambulance, so that's a plus. It was only like $8,000 for a 5-minute ride. Anyway.
You just said that so casually.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Anyway, I
Careful,
actually
yeah.
died. Like clinically, I was declared dead because my heart stopped, and then my brain wasn't getting up.
Oh yeah, I remember
Waves
that.
for a while.
Kyle's a zombie.
I literally was terrified. I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah,
was waiting for
I
you to
had
lie.
multiple of my friends like send me like voice messages and tried calling me like crying. I was like, oh no, I feel good, fine, guys. It was like stress release, and it was like a survival instinct. I don't know. From their perspective, I just didn't show up one day, and I showed up the next day and told them I died overnight. So
Okay, so
wow.
what's really like not funny because these are really bad stories, but I actually have had kind of a really awkwardly similar. Thank you. That's just one of those words I can't really say.
yeah.
Thing like Kyler did. So story number 1. This is during Mary Poppins.
Oh.
My
What was that show?
it was Tech Week. Actually, no, it wasn't Tech Week, but I'm gonna count it anyways. It was a school.
It's a whole story.
It was a
Yeah.
school day show. So I was a statue in that show. Keep in mind, this is my least favorite show. Not even just because the character I just didn't really like the atmosphere either. But so as a part of my costume, I had 7 layers. 7 layers of costumes on my body, and keep in mind they were dunked and painted, so that essentially like doubles it because of how heavy it was.
And it insulates the heat.
And not to mention, costume moms told me not to sit because the paint would rub off of my pants.
And we're going through a heat wave.
And I also had makeup, blue, green, whatever color you want to call it, gold makeup, all over my face, down my neck, everything, with a hat, with a wig inside of it. So I was omega overheating. And not to mention the AC was broken at the time. So I get on stage, I do my first scene, and I'm good. And I step down, because we had these little boxes we stood on, because we were statues. And I stood up, I got off of it, and I was just like, I feel kind of funny. And then the best way I can describe it, is that I was logged off. So, like, I wasn't in my, like, head, but I was still technically, for this term I'm going to use alive, if you will. I was just aimlessly wandering the hallway, and Leo's mom, actually, was like, hey, buddy, are you okay? And then I was like, and I kept just walking down the hallway. I managed to get into the makeup room, and I just pass out. I take a seat, and I pass out, and I go, and I'm dead. I was dead in that morning. In that moment. It wasn't like the type where I needed active, like, resuscitation. I didn't need CPR. I kind of just snapped back.
Like exhausted.
But literally everything was stopped. The only reason I use the term logged off, and the only reason I know Leo's mom was talking to me, is because I was told afterwards.
I remember this.
Like, literally, you guys could have just been lying, but I didn't remember anything like that entire day. I couldn't tell you what happened. Like, even today, I couldn't know for certain what happened, if that makes sense. And it was just a really terrifying experience, because, like, when I woke back up, I had taken off all 7 layers, at least on the top, down to, like, my white tank top that you have to wear, like, under your costumes. And I was sweatier. I was just really, really sweaty.
Yeah, I remember.
And they got on the walkie, one of the makeup moms, and was like, Dave, you need to come down here. Nick needs help. Dave is my dad, by the way. So he comes down and he's like, "Are you good, buddy?" and I was
That's
like,
so accurate to the way your dad talks.
and I was like, "Can I get mom?" And then
I remember that.
I said that I was still out of my element, but I literally asked for my mother instead of my dad.
Yeah, I want someone else.
And then, because my mom's a nurse, so like she actually knew what we were doing. But my mom comes down, she like gets me some water, she gets me like the help I need, and then the rest of that show, I went and I sat in this room no one else gets to go into, and I laid there and I literally just slept because I felt. I don't even know if you guys would know where it is, honestly.
It's across from the
I'm
makeup
guessing.
room.
The one across
Yeah.
from the yeah, I've been in
But
there.
it was a separate room in that room.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I've been in there too.
Yeah,
I-
but
yeah.
there was like a couch in there, and I literally just slept. Where you've been like wanting to speak this whole time. Go ahead.
Wait, I forgot.
Okay.
Okay, wait, no. But
Oh, okay.
I have something else to say. Wait, and maybe I'll remember what I was thinking.
Okay.
Another thing. I literally just said I have another way to segue into me
okay.
talking, and I'll try to remember. Anyway. I know what room he's talking about because during the show, Leo's older brother.
Oh yeah.
Oh, this is legitimately this is like one of my worst nightmares in theater. I'm getting changed, right? Because I have like a scene coming up, and I don't know. I have like 4 scenes to have to go on, and one of our choreographer is waiting for me. They go, "Kyler, the choreographer's name needs you right now," and I'm like, "What did I do?" I was like, "Am I in trouble?" And I walk out. She goes, "Kyler, how quickly can you learn a complicated dance?" And I go,
Oh.
And I go, "I can do this right now." Like this was the most locked in I've ever been. They can attest. I'm usually
Oh yeah, I remember you.
Yeah,
I'm usually not locked in, but I like. I don't know. I was like serious where I felt angry at other people, not because I didn't like them. Like even
Yeah, I know
like
that feels.
Nick, you tried to talk to me at one point. I was like, "Do not talk to me, Nick."
You scared me.
I apologized to him later because I never talked to anyone like that.
I feel like it's
that was just a really off
Yeah, and
show.
I had to. Like, they had to jerry rig me a costume, and I had to learn this whole dance. And then, not throwing shade, my dance partner started crying and said, "I'm not going on if Leo's older brother isn't dancing with me," which
It's kind of weird.
I
Oh, by the way,
I'm
my
getting
brother,
more stories as we go on.
my brother had like fainted because
Yeah.
he was low on electrolytes and overheating and stuff. So.
yeah, so I kind of had they go, "Kyler, go." I didn't, and I didn't have to go on. His older brother just kind of.
Moseyed his way up.
Yeah, he just kind of half drunkenly just kind of
Well, he wasn't. He
wasn't
was.
that drunk. He was pretty much fine.
Yeah, he was
Okay.
fine at that point.
He was fine at that point, but that was one of the scariest things because I don't know. It was a partner dance too, so it's not like if I mess up, I would have less stress if it was just like, "Kyle, we need you to go on and dance here, okay?" All the blame puts on me. The audience should be like, "Oh, that kid's stupid and a bad dancer." Right? But if I'm partner dancing, they're gonna be like, "Oh, they're both stupid and bad dancers."
Yeah.
And
Okay.
which isn't fair to the other person because she was a really good dancer.
Literally
Okay.
just based on what I was.
Jakey's turn.
It's Jacob's turn.
So yeah,
It's Jacob's turn.
Oh,
Oh,
sorry.
all right.
I think I have like 2. One of them we already spoke on. Like dislocated my knee. That was very unfortunate. And the other one was during Beauty and the Beast. It was we were doing like this big village number. It's all kind of like kind of a song.
Yeah.
And me, Logan, and another guy pick up Kyler and like walk him toward the stairs that lead off the stage. And then he escapes us and pushes me. And we do it every night. All is fine. And then this one night, he did it like especially hard for some reason.
I got too into character.
Yeah, whatever. But it happened to be my dance partner for that song. Poor tiny little girl got slammed with my huge body into a desk. Or well, I think it was like a bar. Just clapped in between me and an immovable set.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
It was, yeah.
Anyone else?
Also, okay, I know I keep taking it on me, but like,
Ah.
you guys keep reminding me. During that show, I played a guy called Maurice, which is like Belt's dad. He has white hair. I don't have white hair. I was just gonna get it like dyed, like permanently, cause like no biggie. Hair grows back. It's for sure. I don't care. But we couldn't get a slot in time because I had to get the okay from like the directors and stuff to permanently dye it, and by then I just couldn't get a slot. I was too busy. So I had a temporary dye every night, and I had longer. I had like hair down to here, but my hair got like huge. It was like a mushroom cloud.
Oh, I remember that.
And
Kind of like mine. But
I already had really thick hair and really big hair and long hair. It took 9 cans of spray on dye every single night, and I legitimately had like throat problems for like a couple months after from inhaling it because they weren't small cans. They were like, I mean, they're smaller cans. They're like that big, and they just and then like one can just couldn't tell the difference. It took layers upon layers trying to dry, and my hair was stuck like that. It was like, and washing it out took like an hour and a half every night.
why even bother at that point?
All right.
Just put on a bonnet and call it good.
Yeah.
That's what I was told.
Alright, I think Logan has
I
not
don't got anything.
Nothing?
I've never had really a bad techie experience. I don't think.
Anything?
I really don't know. I don't know
I think
anything.
that means it's
Oh,
time
you
to
know
wrap
what?
up.
So during Joseph, I had a partner dance, and all was well. And this isn't really specifically Tech Week. All was well for the first few weeks of rehearsal. Like the dancing was going completely fine, and then all of a sudden, I completely lost it, and I could not do the partner dip, and I dropped her like 3 times.
What?
Oh.
I remember you mentioned I completely forgot the dance tonight, but you dropped
Daniel.
a girl.
Not really. Not
That's like a sin.
Yeah, that's
That's like
literally a sin.
the biggest. Like that's worst case scenario. Drop it. That's like how you don't get cast again, Logan.
I mean, unless
I haven't
it's
gotten partner
like
dancing since.
Unless you
unless
suck
it's
a
a
lot.
lot.
Unless it's a girl.
unless you've been told to.
Yeah,
to
like
drop
if you
them.
drop someone during a stunt, that you will not be cast as partner dancing again because
Have you been partner dancing
No.
since?
yeah, no, he hasn't been cast as a partner dancing.
So yeah, and then it eventually came back to me, and I was able to do it
Dude, because
by the time the show started. But
Because when you're partner dancing, especially if you're lifting someone, your body's under so much stress. I was on an advanced partner dancing class, and the instructor, his foot slipped like literally half an inch, and he has broken his entire wrist is still in the cast because he snapped his wrist.
Ow.
And he's a commercial pilot as his job,
oh,
so he has insurance to cover that until he gets better. But like, he like full on broke his wrist because his foot slipped half an inch. That's how important technical lifts are.
that's actually part of the reason I do cheer now, is because I never want that to happen again.
Fair.
All right.
I want to do cheer because Logan's injured.
Unless anyone else has more, I have uno mas to round it out on a good note, and then we'll do
Like
what
a question?
Kyler was. No, like one more horror story,
Do you have
and
one?
then
Yeah.
do you have any, Leo?
No.
And then and then like Kyler was saying earlier, we'll go through. We'll remind you guys of our names, and we'll say our favorite roles. But this last one, it's kind of a silly Billy one. This was on opening night of a show called Seussical, like we've talked about. Doesn't have to do with either incident me or Jacob had, but it does directly involve me and Jacob.
What happened?
So essentially, me and Jacob.
Oh.
So like, back in the studios, on Super Saturday, which is the lead into Tech Week, we found this little miniature baby, like a plastic baby, on the ground. I picked it up and I named it Alfonso. And Alfonso was the OG. I don't know where he is today, but Alfonso will always be in our hearts. So me and Jacob get the wise idea, and we're like, we're gonna buy a pack of 400 babies off of Amazon, little tiny plastic babies. And
I still don't regret doing that. That was the
me
best
neither.
$20 I ever spent.
we buy them, and we put well, he brings them to a show, and he puts them in my bin, and I'm like, you know what, this is just a little funny silly thing, I'm gonna pass these out to people. So at first it started off like easy, and I was just like, okay, all the guys come get one baby. And they're like multicolored. There's like blue ones, green ones. So I was like low-key taking orders. I was like, hey, what color baby do you want? But yeah, I just started taking orders, and I like began to give them out in the guys' dressing room.
Yeah, Kyler?
Speaking of babies, let me show you.
I swear, if you have some of those, no
Dude,
way.
what?
Okay, we have this one that doesn't have arm. This one has one arm. I actually have a ball full of them, like right here. Oh, let me.
Oh, God. Hey, Tyler, get your...
You gotta keep them.
Here's a black one without arms. Here's
Showing your collection of babies.
here's a burnt one.
What
Here's a blue one.
Those poor babies.
Here's a really burnt one. This guy was melted. So now, anyway,
That's
baby over here.
actually crazy. You have those.
they're like glitter. You can't ever get rid of them. Like, and the thing is, they're so
It's
small.
in the ground.
We
Someone
hide
stepped
them.
on this thing.
Is it just embedded?
okay.
It was in the
They're,
ground.
yeah, they're so small. We would hide them around the bin.
Hey, we're getting to that part.
Okay.
Back on Nick's story before Kyler produced those somehow.
So I was just giving them out to the guys' dressing room, and like eventually word spread, and literally like I'm being serious. Like I've never used this like terminology in a more serious sense. It began to spread like wildfire. But so
There was
like
a baby jail.
yes, there was. So like some just like eventually.
Shut it!
Well, that guy is so cool.
I want to be just like him when I grow up.
Stop. So, one of the guys, I think he was younger, eventually told one of the girls. So then I was like, well, I can't be non-inclusive. I am going to give them one of the babies. So eventually it keeps going until the point I'm giving out one baby to everybody. There is like, even some of the adults had babies. I'm not even gonna lie, some of them had the little tiny babies. And I was like, I was holding out the bin and I was like, pick one. They're good luck symbols because that's what they originated from. You used to bake them into cakes. Fun fact, this is just a little history moment.
For Mardi
So those babies, for Mardi Gras parties, you would bake them into cakes, and whoever got the slice with the plastic baby in it was lucky for the next 10 years or something. So I was like, this is a good luck charm baby. Keep it in your bin. Don't bring it on stage.
That will be important for later.
Eventually, literally everybody has it, and we are so close to opening, and I didn't know this. So I kept Alfonso in my pockets, but Alfonso never left my pockets. Show begins, and also keep in mind the main actor had like the set of overalls, and she had the middle one just stuffed with babies to the point where you could like she had the little arms like dangling over the edge, so it looked like they were holding on. But by the end of the first number, there was 15 babies on the stage.
It wasn't me.
Part of them came from Kyler.
No,
but
I
he's
was
going
on
to
the
deny
first
it.
number.
But
No, I wasn't on the first number. I only dropped like 3 later in the show.
okay,
That's still
that's
not
still bad.
good.
That's still dropping babies.
So we continue through. Me and Jacob are literally mad stressing because we were scared for like our chances for future shows, how much trouble we'd be in, and whatnot. And even though it was weird because we literally encouraged them not to bring them on stage and told them to put them in their bins. But we get to the end of the show, and we get sat down in the house in between the two shows, which, keep in mind, doesn't always occur. on Saturday shows.
Yeah.
I think that's the only time that's ever happened.
And it's
yeah.
extremely intimidating. I've had it happen to me before, with me and it's intimidating because it's like R1, like technically boss,
The
and
boss
then it's
boss.
like us in this huge auditorium full of like 800 seats. So it's
Yeah.
really intimidating.
But so we get there, and everybody's just sitting in the house seats. We're all me and Jacob weren't confused.
Yeah.
Everyone else was confused at what all the kerfuffle was, and me and Jacob are sitting there with like 1,000-yard stares, just like scared for our literal lives.
Oh,
And the big boss lady,
I remember that all too well.
her last name started with a K, so we'll just call her
Boss baby?
Mrs. I said lady. We'll call her Miss K. Miss K gets up, and she makes it seem like it's just like what we do normally at the start of the thing. She's like, "All right, guys, great show. You still got one more show to go." And I really just quickly wanted to bring something up. Me and Jacob are terrified beyond belief. And she just goes, "I've been seeing these little tiny babies on the stage. And I just wanted to let you guys know that the babies are from now on banned. Keep them in the bin, and if props parents find them, they're going in the baby jail." And me and Jacob just instantly had such a big sigh of relief. And I remember, remember how I said there was 400 at the start? Afterwards, me and Jacob counted up the total, and we lost half of the babies to getting them out.
Yeah.
That is 200 babies
Plus, people were just
given
stealing
out.
them.
And then I'm assuming about a quarter of the rest of the babies from the ones that were taken ended up on this stage.
And people have gotten like legitimate arguments over who had what babies.
Yeah.
Because it was like a sign of status to have like a lot of babies.
It like became a
Like, none
currency.
were
I'm not
broken.
even gonna lie. But that was really stressful on me and Jacob, but it was also it's really funny to look back on.
I forgot about
There's like
that.
still some just babies
Yeah, they're hidden in the theater.
around.
still.
There's-
I actually have a list of every single baby in the big theater because they deep cleaned it, and then I had like 20 left, and I just hid them.
Yeah.
In spots, I think they won't be found until maybe they like tear down.
You know, now that I think
Jeff
about
the
it,
homeless guy?
I really do not know if anybody ever caught on that like we were the Roots, or at least the adult.
I don't think about that. I don't know that the adults, but I know a lot of.
girl.
I don't think any of the adults ever knew that it was you and I, but I know that a lot of like
All of the
the
kids,
seniors, which are like the kids that were graduating out of CYT that show, they were all on our side and like they were willing to defend us because it was clearly not our fault.
If any of the adults did know, they probably would have known that it wasn't your guys' fault.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I feel like if
it was
anyone tried
literally
to like
everyone else's
prosecute
fault.
them, everyone would band together and would like boycott it.
I think that wouldn't happen because they have ultimate like judgment,
No
and they could
one
have
would
just
audition for shows. so they
picked
go
me
bad.
and Jacob out if they really wanted to. I'm really glad they didn't.
Uh,
But yeah, so that was a really funny situation, and that brings us to the end of episode 1 of
Yes,
the
and-
musical Men.
And Nick took those babies.
All right, so just as a last little bit, we're gonna go through. We're gonna remind you of our names, and then we're gonna say our favorite role we've been in at a CYT/CCT show. Starting on the right.
I'm Kyler. By the way, Nick said CCT. CCT is a counterpart to CYT. CYT is 8th or 18. CCT is usually like 14 or 13 up. I think my favorite role, I'm Kyler. One of my favorite roles is either Chef Louis from The Little Mermaid or Maurice from Beauty and the Beast.
So I'm Leo, and my favorite roles in between two was probably either LeFou from Beauty and the Beast or Benjamin from The Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. Joseph and The Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat.
I'm Nick, and my favorite role was probably Scuttle from The Little Mermaid, and a close second would be Hugo Peabody from Bye Bye Birdie the musical.
My name is Jacob, and my most favorite, without a doubt, is the delivery boy from Bye Bye Birdie the musical, which is Hugo's older brother in the show.
I'm Logan, and my favorite is probably between the chefs, or yeah, they were chefs, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
multiple.
The chefs from Little Mermaid, or the baker from Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat.
All right.
Yeah.
So that about wraps up our first episode. Maybe there will be more to come. I think it would be fun if
I
there was
think there
more
will
to
be
come.
A lot of fun.
Yeah.
Check out our
Um,
YouTube channel.
We don't
You
have
know,
one.
I
should
might
make
make
one.
one.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah, like and subscribe,
And we will start a YouTube
hit
channel,
that post
Twitch
notification.
channel, other channels we can make. I don't know.
If this blows up, go ahead and comment what we should talk about
Comment
next.
down below.
Yeah.
Comment.
Any
Or just
topic.
Write on a
Okay,
piece
okay.
of paper and hand it to Nick, and be like, "This is."
Anyways, that's about
Sick
it.
outro, and the
I will
Dodgers
see
miss.
you guys